Gaming is no cheap hobby. Trust me, I know. Self-reliant gamers basically have to spend every penny of paychecks they earn to try to keep their god PC up to standards, just so they can afford keeping it cool with their Beladelphine water cooling, triple RTX 3090 quad-core processing RGB with real-time reflections. Now, everything I just said was complete babble talk. I sounded like a baby fresh out the womb trying to build a PC. The reason all these basement troglodytes create these absolute overkills of machinery is due to the video game industry setting these impossible standards for graphics in gaming. I mean, just take a look at certain new video games like Last of Us 2, the Demon's Souls remake, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. These games have breathtaking visuals and awe-inspiring landscapes with dynamic real-time lighting. This level of polish and graphics is no easy feat. It takes a huge amount of work from the development team and a whole lot of cash from the studio. As graphics in games continue this crusade to become indistinguishable from real life, so does the budget studios have to pump into projects just to get them out looking like how the general public expects them to look. Most studios have to find some way to get around this problem. Maybe they let some employees go so they have more budget for the project, but then they dump the workload onto a smaller group of employees. Maybe they'll try to cut corners in other ways so the game can visually look up to standard. Point is, there is no easy way to budget a game of this size without a large stack of cash. This makes it very difficult for smaller developers to dip their toes into the awful lava pool that is developing a game in this day and age. That's why so many small developers turn to a popular crowdfunding platform where not only they fund the game, but the fans as well. This is the legacy of Kickstarter, a platform notorious for helping produce some of the best video games ever made, and also some of the shittiest ones too. Right off the bat, I want to rip off the band-aid and start off with a real stinker. YookaLaylee is not a good game. In fact, it is a fucking dumpster fire. Except instead of the firefighters coming to put it out, some homeless people found it and started pissing on it. This game seemingly had everything going for it. It claimed to be a retro revival of the 3D collectathons of the N64 era. Which, let me tell you, those are some good fucking games. Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, Donkey Kong 64, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Even Gex, who is a talking lizard who makes dated references. Yeah, this one is actually a masterpiece. These are all godsends of gaming, and they represent what I believe to be the peak of this genre. So when this group of people got together to produce a spiritual successor to the games like Banjo-Kazooie, it had the eyes of not only me, but all of the 30-year-olds who had nostalgia for the genre looking. And we were looking hard. And then YookaLaylee came out, and oh my god, this shit is some of the worst things in a video game rolled into one. This game had no reason to be so garbage. I mean, come on! It had not only the support of the gaming masses, which donated $3 million to fund the game, but it was fucking made by the Rare employees. The people who made Conker and Banjo. How the fuck do you make this game so bad? I cannot grasp it at all. It even had the legendary Grant Kirkhope orchestrating the soundtrack. And, while he did make some real bangers for this game, some of the music made is just far too loud and bombastic, compared to some of the beautiful serene pieces he composed for the game. The game suffered from a massive identity crisis. It could never find its footing as its own game. While playing it, all you could go is, hey, I remember when characters used to talk like that. Hey, I remember that kind of writing. Hey, I remember this horrible kind of camera controls. Oh my god, the camera in this game can eat my dick. Don't even get me started on the controls. Oh my god, some of the controls feel like the controller isn't in there. Your mind is just magically controlling the character. Then other times, I kid you not, this feels worse than how the controls felt back on the older games on the N64. My god, Platonic, this is awful. You really are not cut out for this kind of game. Now the impossible layer, now that's a good one. Good job with this one. I truly wanted YookaLaylee to succeed, but maybe this shows the collectathon genre is dead. Unless Nintendo does it. YookaLaylee? More like Poopagalee. Now I came into this raw no rubber, really spanked you all with the cold hard truth of the darker side of gaming. But now come cozy up with me by the fire and let me tell you a legend. A legend of a game so glorious it turned boys into men and men into gods. A game so beautiful that it literally changed the way you viewed the world after playing it. Now most of you are probably thinking, There's no way a game like that could ever exist, right? Wrong! Very few games have reached what I call, damn, that's a good fucking game tier. You got your pretty good games right here and your real stinkers down here, but up here at the top, oh yeah, this is where the masterpieces go. Only 2 games in my entire life have ever left such an impact on me that I believe they should be hailed as masterpieces. This is it. My objective best game of all time. Hollow Knight. Holy shit, this could not have been a bigger 180. Hollow Knight is a masterpiece on every single level. I cannot even begin to describe how amazing this game is because it would just take too damn long. This game honestly deserves a video in its own right because it truly is a monumental game. This beautifully animated Metroidvania had a very similar mission to that of YookaLaylee. It strove to be a revival in a genre that had been considered long to be past its prime. Unlike YookaLaylee, however, this game fucking blows everything out of the water. The hand-drawn visuals and animations, mwah, beautiful. The sound design, oh my god, the sound design. This shit could not be any better than it already is. Hearing the little jabs as your blade hits your enemies, their faint noises as they bounce around. This right here is literally perfection. And if you don't understand that, I'm going to call an ambulance because something is absolutely fucked in your mind. The controls and the combat of this game is just so pristine and so refined, which is good because this is a damn hard game. It'll make you grow a couple inches taller and grow some hair on your nuts if you're able to conquer this game, because it is a truly brutal experience. Then you've got the world progression, which is somehow effortlessly seamless, but at the same time you still wander around for hours and not have a single clue what you're doing. There's really no wrong way to go. No matter which corner of the world you dive into, you're going to be facing down maybe a fun platforming challenge or an infuriating difficult boss fight. I'll never forgive you, Papa Honey. But obviously this experience would be almost meaningless without some good songs to back it up, and holy shit, the Hollow Knight soundtrack! Do I even need to say more? I mean, listen to this! It is just unreal to even think that this game became a reality. Hollow Knight was made by Team Cherry, and I cannot fathom that these people were able to make this game without the game suffering in any categories. I mean, this team only consists of not 1, not 2, but 3 people. Are you kidding me with this, Team Cherry? I honestly feel like calling them Team Cherry isn't even enough. So Ari Gibson, William Pellin, and Jack Vine, congratulations. All of you wonderful people have earned the random respect of some kid on the internet. Not to mention, these 3 created this game off of only a budget of $44,377. You literally cannot make this up. YookaLaylee had a budget of $3 million and previous Rare employees on that game, and it shat itself like a newborn baby. While Hollow Knight over here comes out flexing its massive muscles with just some petty change to compared to what Platonic had. This game is a masterpiece. It is one of the best video games ever created, and it only costs $15. I love you, Team Cherry. And they've been releasing free DLC for the past 4 years? What the fuck? Shovel Knight needs no introduction. I've heard of it, you've heard of it. Hell, I bet even the crackhead in your back alleys played this game before. While writing this script for this video, I almost forgot this game was even a Kickstarter game, because this is so fascinating to me. Shovel Knight had a very similar story to Hollow Knight. It was a small indie startup that was then backed by the masses, as we saw how much of a banger this game was. The game had a much more plentiful budget than a Hollow Knight, fundraising $311,000 for the game to be made. Once it came out, I know not a single damn person regretted that donation, because Jesus Christ, this is a good game. While I feel it pales in comparison to Hollow Knight in some aspects, that by no stretch of imagination makes this a bad game. Far from it. This is an absolute banger. Shovel Knight's a 2D adventure game where you run around collecting treasure, fighting monsters, and doing a little platforming. I honestly don't understand how modern 2D Mario does so well when games like this just absolutely blow it out of the water. And it only costs a third of what it cost to buy a Mario game. The music absolutely goes hard and deserves a listen. The controls are tight as controls get. I really have no way to praise this game in words. It's truly just an amazing experience you have to experience for yourself. Not to mention the developers have also been consistently pumping out DLCs where it's basically a whole new game where the characters have entire new movesets and entire new playstyles. God, what an amazing game. For the final game on this list, I want to address a game that has been kickstarted right now. A game you could go and play right now and fall in love with. Now I'm sure this is no surprise to anyone watching. Every single person on the internet has heard of this little game. Starring a boy, 4 arrow keys, and an uncontrollable urge to funk. The world was a dark place until on November 1st, 2020, half the nation felt No Nut November due to a cartoon girlfriend. Friday Night Funkin' took the entire world by storm, and it did so for an entirely good reason. This shit is such a fun rhythm game. The art style of the game is super cute, and the tasty jams in the background crank the game up to 11. I mean, for real, holy shit, this game has some good music. Listen to some of this in your free time. I personally guarantee you will not be disappointed. I seriously cannot recommend this game enough, especially since this is a browser game. Now, obviously, it's going to become a full paid game someday, but currently we can all enjoy this as it is free to play. The Kickstarter for this game right now has raised $1,460,708. And wow, talk about a lot of money. That doesn't even come close to YookaLaylee's budget, but I'm sure it is going to blow YookaLaylee out of the water. The demo, quote unquote, that we can play now already fucking blows YookaLaylee out of the water because this game's that good. This game is amazing. I love this game with all my heart, and I really hope it succeeds. So good luck to all of you on the team. This was the legend of several Kickstarted games. I absolutely love the sense of community these things can build, but it's always a risky thing because, as we saw, sometimes these go sour. Hey, maybe kickstarting isn't such a bad idea. Introducing the Thog Kickstarter! I'm officially kickstarting my channel and you all can donate. And now I'm not going to deliver any content.